how to do a pike with a physio ball. Again, as we progress in life, it's important to realize that our balance and our core strength is very most important here. So I take a physio ball, I go into a plank position, I stabilize myself, my core is engaged very tightly, everything is very balanced. I very gently pull up my hips into extension level towards the ceiling, and then I come down and do just a plank position again. I go up, I go down, I go up, I go down. I'll do that for about 20 times. Another thing I think is really important is keeping your legs very toned, very sculpted. And of course for women, that's another thing that we really have to focus on. A lunge using a physio ball is a perfect way to really capture, again, the core stability and strengthening the lower body. So this is your basic physio ball lunge. We're going to put our feet up here, again, stability. I'm going to push out. I'm going to come in. I'm going to push out. I'm going to come in. And it's amazing what gluteus, hamstring work, and all of the above really do to tone a woman's body, and men also. Lastly, I always like to add a little bit of machine work or heavy strength training to kind of balance it all out, not just one mechanism to make the other work. I add a lot of variety to my exercise programs. So for instance, after doing that, I can easily add in a leg extension to build the sculpted quads that we all want, and as athletes, we all need. So here's a basic leg extension. I make sure everything is tightly fitted to form my body. And so a leg extension is just primarily your legs extending out, making sure your back is very nicely snug against the back, and then you come down. You go back up, you come back down. And that's another good way to add to any type of plyometric type of training with a machine to give it that extra strength. I'm going to talk about the Bosu ball. The Bosu ball is half of the physio ball, as you can see. It's a wonderful core stability training piece of equipment. A lot of people don't love it because it's hard. And what you have to do is really balance yourself, but again, it's that core work that you're really focusing on. I oftentimes have females, and men as well, especially skiers. Snow skiers really do well by understanding the mechanisms of how a Bosu works and to being on the slopes doing moguls. So in this particular exercise, we're going to do a squat with a row. So I'm going to go down, I'm going to squat, I'm going to keep everything stabilized and aligned, very, very strong abs engagement. I'm going to come up, and as I come up, I'm going to do a row with the cable, with the row. So we're going to go down, and we're going to come up. We're going to go down, and we're going to come up. And I do this for about 20 times, and I make people do it 3 to 4 times a set. So that's that. Then, straight from there, I superset, and I will go into a heavier, again, to give that nice build, but not to strain you too badly, and just hike up the weight to about 5 times what I'm doing, and I'm going to do a squat here, just on the floor, to really give that extra burn to your gluteus and hamstrings, your butt and your legs, to give it that nice extra push to build. So in a sense, the Bosu is just giving you the burn to burn the fat off, and this is actually building the muscle to tone. One thing in particular, shoulders are a big deal to really get your body sculpted. And in terms of women, we always want to have the shoulders looking a little bit larger in terms of making the lower body look smaller, looking for the X factor effect. So one way of doing that is by building the shoulders. And these are called dumbbell lateral raises for your deltoids, which are your shoulders. So here I'm just demonstrating one way of just slowly pushing the weight up and making sure that you have full range of motion as well as slow and controlled. You oftentimes see this, or somebody having bad body form. That is not going to do you any good. The isolation movements are key, and your muscle fibers will not build. So if we want to do that, you have to really focus on that. I make sure that your form and your full range of motion is very key in all your work in the gym. So I will normally do about 20 of these to warm up, and as I progress on each set, I hike the weight up and I lower the reps. So here are some lateral delt raises. Another important component of bodybuilding or any strength training is that you want to breathe. So many people don't breathe, and that's going to actually give you more power for the push. So if you exhale when you're doing a power lift, well, I say exhale as you exert. So you want to breathe out as you lift. That's important too.